Okay, so now that you get your rods into your couplers and tightened up, you want the gantry. You want both of these to be parallel or synced up together. This is what this belt does: is it syncs it up. So we are gonna disconnect our motors, so it won't backfeed any electricity into the board. Because these stepper motors, every time you move them, they produce a little bit of energy, and that gets fed back into the board. And if you do it too fast, it might fry the board. Um, okay, so you can loosen these up right here. Just so they wobble around a little bit to give it play. That should give you enough play to, because now these are loose, they're wobbling around, so there's no friction. There shouldn't be any friction. Send your gantry all the way down until they bottom out right here on the base of the motor and the bracket right there. And you want to press on both sides to make sure both sides are bottomed out. Once they're bottomed out, you can loosen this one too. Just so now this is free floating inside. They should be both free floating and loose. And then you can remove this top bracket, just one of them, it doesn't matter which side. And you can take this and take it off the gear. So now this is loose. And make sure that you're pressed up all the way to the bottom again. And then now you can take this, put it on, but just loosely. Don't tighten it all the way, just kind of loose so that you can still move the gantry. And put your belt back on. Now that this is bottomed out, put your belt back on. And here. Oh, it's snagged up here. Okay, there we go. All right, put your belt back on, and it should be really loose. That's the normal state that it's in. So we'll keep this loose. We'll just put this on, but not tighten it all the way. Just keep it a little loose so there's some play in it. And then you're gonna want to hold this and kind of pull up to give it some tension. That way it won't slip off. Another way to make sure that you're keeping sync is you can make a line on each axle to make sure that they're synced up. And because if you pull this and you hear and it slips, that means that they're no longer in sync. So pull this tight, and with the other hand, you want to help it along and slowly pull the axis all the way up. Remember, you're trying to keep these two in sync. So see, that right there is not good, but we're okay. We didn't lose sync. We can check our marks to make sure that they are both still in sync. Put it all the way up. You don't have to put it all the way up. You can just put it almost all the way up, just to straighten these two out. So now that this is all the way up here, it'll provide support that you can tighten these down. And you can check to your marks and see that they're still in sync. And then tighten this down. And these don't have to be super tight. Just very lightly put them on, because you kind of want some play. If there's too much friction, they'll bind up. And then you should be able to gently, because you don't want to lose teeth on the belt again, put it all the way down. At which point Now you can tighten up the back one. Remember, again, not too tight, just snug. And you don't have to tighten the bottom ones. This is a lock nut, so it won't fall out. But you see that little gap right there? So you don't necessarily have to bind these down. You kind of want them to have a little bit of movement. But that's it. Then you can just run your printer and have it go all the way up and then home it, and it should be straight and in sync.